Viewers, good evening. Thank you for joining us on India Upfront. Let's call out the Break India Toolkit tonight, viewers. As elections approach in Jammu and Kashmir, the poll narrative has taken a dark and divisive turn. Mainstream political leaders, desperate for votes, are resorting to fear-mongering, othering, and scare tactics. This toxic strategy not only threatens the fragile peace in the region but also undermines the very idea of Bharat Jodo that Congress claims to espouse. Read Rahul Gandhi. Rahul Gandhi's comment about outsiders stealing the rights and wealth of Jammu and Kashmir residents is a blatant attempt to create an us versus them narrative, pitting locals against people from other states. Farooq Abdullah's warning of a tufan if Article 370 is not restored is an open threat inciting fear and violence. And here's the third gentleman, Omar Abdullah. His claim that Muslims are targeted across the country is a cynical yet sinister ploy to communalize the election and stoke Islamophobia. Viewers, this scare and divide template is a disservice to the people of Jammu and Kashmir and the country at large. By exploiting fears and prejudices, these leaders, and mind you, mainstream political leaders that we are talking about, they are playing with fire, jeopardizing social harmony or sabka saath in Naya Kashmir. Their actions are proof of the fact that power is more important than people's welfare.
यूपी में जिस तरह मुसलमानों के घरों पे, दुकानों पे रोज बुलडोजर चलाए जाते हैं, जिस तरह यूपी में हमारे मस्जिदों पे, दरगाहों पे, हमारे मदरसों पे ताले लगाए जा रहे हैं, जिस तरह आसाम में बीजेपी की हुकूमत में हर बार अगर किसी को जलील करने की कोशिश की जाती है तो मुसलमानों को, हमने जम्मू कश्मीर को उन ताकतों से बचाना है जो वैसे हालात यहाँ पैदा करना चाहते हैं।
मैं आपको एक बात कहूं, हम उनके गुलाम नहीं हैं, हम इस रियासत के मालिक हैं और उनके पल्लवों से कहता हूं, होश करें, तूफान आएगा, उस तूफान का मुकाबला करना पड़ेगा।
आपका सिर्फ स्टेट नहीं छीना गया, आपके अधिकार, आपका धन, सारा का सारा आपसे छीना जा रहा है। आज जम्मू कश्मीर में राजा बैठा हुआ है, उसका नाम एलजी है मगर वो है राजा, और जो आपका धन है आपसे छीना जा रहा है, बाहर के लोगों को दिया जा रहा है।
Viewers, Amit Shah responded to what he called were the Break India forces who seek to divide and destroy. Shah also vowed to punish the terror enablers in Kashmir. Viewers, the Congress and the National Conference must introspect and abandon their toxic narrative that threatens to tear apart peace and prosperity for mere electoral gains.
बड़ी दुख की बात है, विगत दिनों में एनसी का एजेंडा मैंने पढ़ा है और एनसी के एजेंडे को कांग्रेस का मौन समर्थन भी मैंने देखा है, मगर मैं आज आप सभी पत्रकार भाइयों के माध्यम से पूरे देश को स्पष्ट कर देना चाहता हूं, धारा 370 इतिहास बन चुकी है, वो कभी लौटकर नहीं आने सकती, हम आने भी नहीं। 2014 तक जम्मू कश्मीर पर हमेशा अलगाववाद की परछाई रही, आतंकवाद की परछाई रही, अलग अलग स्टेट और नॉन स्टेट एक्टर जम्मू कश्मीर को अस्थिर करते रहे और सभी सरकारों ने एक प्रकार से अपीसमेंट की पॉलिसी से जम्मू कश्मीर को डील किया।
Let's open this up quickly. Shehzad Poonawala, the national spokesperson of the Bharatiya Janata Party, Karan Verma, political analyst, Kamru Zaman Chaudhary ji, political analyst, Umesh Talashi, spokesperson of the National Conference, Tausif Shah, leader of the PDP, and Syed Fazal Kashani completes the panel. Gentlemen, good evening. Mr. Talashi, my first question to you is on what the Abdullahs have been saying. Omar Abdullah is saying that Muslims across the country are targeted, and Farooq Abdullah is warning of a tufan. What tufan is he talking about?
So don't you accept that Muslims are being targeted? Don't you remember the statements by the Honorable Prime Minister of India during the election campaign in Lok Sabha that they'll snatch your Mangal Sutra and they're Guspatiers. So have you forgotten those statements? Have you forgotten the hate speeches by their MPs, be it Sadhvi Pragya or be it their other legislators? So have you forgotten those statements? So where are we wrong? So a Prime Minister of India, just for garnering couple of votes, is openly saying that ये घुसपैठिए हैं, आपके मंगलसूत्र छीन के ले जाएंगे, उनको देंगे, इनको देंगे, 10 बच्चे पैदा
Mr. Talashi,
wasn't that
I remember what the Prime Minister said. Now you tell me, did the Prime Minister use the word Muslims?
Wasn't that an attack? 10 बच्चे पैदा करने वाले. See, you want to turn it around, you turn it around. That's
I'm saying, did the Prime Minister use the word?
The whole country knows.
That no. You are implying that the Prime Minister meant this.
Yes, he did. He directly attacked.
Okay.
He said about that.
Okay, so you believe Muslims in India are under attack?
Give it to people.
Okay. Now the second part of the question is, what is this Tufan that Abdullah Senior, Farooq Abdullah, is talking about?
What Tufan? We'll fight under law. We have been fighting under law. Article 370 was taken away from us. We didn't pick a stone. We didn't throw a stone. We can launch protests. We can do.
No. What is this?
That's
We didn't
right.
pick a
No.
1 minute.
Right.
Are you doing
What
a favor
Tufan?
to the country by not throwing stones?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
Are you
Say that
doing
again?
a favor to this country and our forces by not pelting stones? What is this stone pelting threat?
Why should we pelt stones?
No, what do you mean by we did not throw stones? How dare you say that?
Listen to me. You asked me a question, I answered you.
Answer, is this threat your answer?
We can peacefully fight for it is the answer.
Of course, you have all the rights to protest. What is this stone pelting threat, sir? You're on national television. What do you mean? How dare you say that?
See, you were about to come to that question.
You will pelt stones at our forces?
Sir, look, I'll tell you, we will continue to fight, under law.
No, so you are revealing what Farooq Abdullah meant.
How long it takes.
You are revealing what Farooq Abdullah meant, Mr. Talashi, that if, things are not done your way, you will resort to stone pelting.
Which way?
Because there was a cottage industry of stone pelters that was shut. And now perhaps...
We didn't.
And the patrons are feeling the
violence. Listen. Stop your statements. We don't support violence, right? We can peacefully protest about it.
Will you call out the stone pelters?
We can legally fight about it. We are a political organization.
You went to the Supreme Court. What did the Supreme Court say on Article 370?
Listen, we have suffered massive attacks. All we can do is what is under law. Yes, 3,000 workers have been killed so far. So we don't support violence, right? We will fight whatever ways are there. Whatever ways are there.
Will you condemn the stone pelters?
Ways are there, we'll fight for it.
Do you condemn the stone pelters? Because according to the promises of the NC manifesto that I have in my hand, if NC wins the elections and if you come to power, some of the pro-terror separatist elements will be released. That's one of your poll promises.
Where is it written? Which clause, which section, which column? Where is it written?
Okay, I'll give you the clause and section. I'm giving you the clause and section.
I have my manifesto in front of me. See,
lie.
No.
1 minute.
Just to please your bosses, don't lie. Pro-separatists and pro-terrorists, where is it written?
I'll tell you what has been written.
Yeah, tell me.
Farooq Abdullah has said, let Jammu and Kashmir go to hell. They betrayed people. They want to win people's hearts.
Tell me the manifesto.
How do you
give me the clause of the manifesto.
do things to push people further away? Rahul Gandhi has said, your wealth is being snatched, given to people from outside. Both of you are in an alliance. I am not done. 1 minute. Listen to me, Mr. Talashi. Don't get worked up. Listen to me. This is Farooq Abdullah, your leader. He says, मुझे बताइए इतनी फौज है हमारे बॉर्डर पे, किसी भी मुल्क में इतनी फौज नहीं है, फिर भी ये लोग कैसे आ रहे हैं? ये मिले हुए हैं. He is alleging collusion, questioning the integrity of our forces.
Do you know what you're talking
Do
about?
you endorse this? And then you say, Mr. Talashi on national TV, that you haven't pelted stones.
Written in the manifesto, pro-separatists and pro-terrorists. Give me the clause, give me the number. Where is it written in the manifesto?
Shahzad Poonawala responding.
No, you answer me the question first.
No, I'm reading from the manifesto. I'll just tell you the page number and the clause.
You were talking about the manifesto.
Talashi ji, now can you in the interest of a debate allow the other side to speak?
You asked a question.
Now, Mr. Talashi, I hope in the interest of a fair debate, you will have the patience to hear me out when I make my points. Forget your manifesto. Every manifestation of yours has family first and vote bank first written on it. Just now, Omar Abdullah has done a podcast. Please do not interrupt. I have not even started speaking. Just now, Omar Abdullah has done a podcast with Smita Prakash. I can play out the video for you. He has said nothing was achieved by the execution of Afzal Guru. Afzal Guru's execution was decided by the Supreme Court. The UPA was in power when his execution took place. Is he saying that the Supreme Court under the Constitution was wrong, that the UPA government was wrong? And this whitewashing of terror has been done time and over again. Whether it's 26/11, whether it's Pulwama, whether it's Samjhauta, whether it is Afzal Guru, whether it is Yaqub Mehman. Now let's come to the other element of this family first politics, which is Rahul Gandhi. Rahul Gandhi, who contests an election in Kerala. Please do not interrupt. I have not completed. I have not interrupted anybody. Rahul Gandhi, who contests an election in Kerala, says that those who invest money in Jammu Kashmir are outsiders. Rahul Gandhi himself took business people, including Mr. Tata, including Mr. Birla, including Mr. Parekh, to Jammu Kashmir in 2012. Those were insiders. Those were not looting. But today, when 185 people, including UPIites, Biharis, and other people from various states, go to Jammu Kashmir to invest money, like they can do in any part of the country. If Rahul Gandhi's family can buy property in Himachal, why can't somebody go and buy land or do business in Jammu Kashmir? When that is done to give people of Jammu Kashmir employment, he says they've come to loot. And this is the same Rahul Gandhi. Please tell us that when he says Samvidhan first, NC has said this, and this is in your manifesto, that you want to bring 370 back. By the way, how will you do it when you win a state election? But that's not the point. The point is that if you want 370 back, that means 2 Samvidhan. Now I want to ask Kamruzaman Chaudhary, do you want 2 Samvidhan? When you say 370 is back, for the first time after removal of 370, Valmiki's got their rights, SC/ST rights. The Prevention of SC/ST Act was implemented. Central acts were implemented by which the Dalit community, which the Gujar community, by which the OBC community got their rights. So you want Arakshan should be finished. You do not want them to get their rights. Thirdly, when you say that we are for Shivji, we show Shivji's picture in parliament, they want to rename Shankaracharya Pahad or Shankaracharya Parvat as Takhte Suleiman. Kamruzaman Chaudhary, come se kam you should oppose this, because your name still has Chaudhary. They haven't been able to rename you, thankfully, but they want to name Shankaracharya Parvat as Takhte Suleiman. Bhai, आप बताइए, would you want that? So today I want to ask Kamruzaman Chaudhary that do you accept that there was nothing achieved by hanging Afzal Guru? And I want NC to tell us, is Afzal Guru a terrorist, yes or no? And Congress party, did you achieve nothing? Was it wrong to hang Afzal Guru? But you can say that because you actually went and stood in support of those who said, Bharat hum sharminda hai tere, Afzal hum sharminda hai tere qatil zinda hai, in JNU.
No, before they answer the question you've asked, I want to read out from the NC manifesto. Mr. Talashi, you said that you have the manifesto in front of you. Let's go to page number 11 and let's read it together. Okay, I'm reading from page number 11. Make efforts to secure release of prisoners languishing in jails, release of political prisoners. We will prioritize the release of political prisoners and youth who've been unjustly detained in jails and are not involved in serious crimes. We will also seek amnesty for all political prisoners. Is stone pelting a serious crime? Yes or no?
Look, I'll tell you, you're talking about the prisoners. There are many youths that are languishing in jails just for social media posts. Okay,
I have read out from the manifesto. Mr. Talashi, just hear me out. 30 seconds. I have a simple question. I want you to answer this. Do you believe stone pelting is a serious crime? Pelting stones on our forces, is it a serious crime? Yes or no? I am asking you to take a position on stone pelters. Pelting stones on our security forces, is it a serious crime? Yes or no?
Indeed it is. It is indeed.
It is?
Yes, it is indeed.
It is.
Did I support that? Yes.
Mr. Kamruzaman Chaudhary, attacking our security forces with stones, serious crime nahi hai. Aapke ally bol rahe hain.
It is. I said it is indeed a serious crime.
Okay, you're saying it is. Okay, I'm sorry. I think, no, I'm sorry. I thought you're saying it isn't.
Yeah.
Okay, now answer the second part of...
It is a heinous crime.
Yeah. Now answer the question that the BJP spokesperson asked you.
Mr. Talashi, the Supreme Court has said Afzal Guru ought to hang. Is he a terrorist? Yasin Malik has been convicted as a terrorist. And therefore, for me and for my party and for every Indian, he is a terrorist. I am asking you once again, do you consider Yasin Malik a terrorist? And thirdly, because you'll keep going on and on, you said Muslims are being targeted, right? By BJP, Modi ji statements. There is a gentleman called Anirudh Singh. Anirudh Singh belongs to the Congress. He's a minister who got up and said love jihad is taking place and there is an illegal masjid which ought to be taken down. Do you think that is Muslim hatred? If it is, what are you doing with the Congress?
Let him now answer. You've asked multiple questions. Mr. Talashi, you have the time to answer. Yes.
Okay. Well, he's asking me, is Yassin Malik a terrorist? And you're not saying anything about it. Did you say National Conference opposing or protesting for any convict that
Yes.
he's been in trial? Did you say
Yes.
we protesting about it? Let law take its own course. Let law decide who's the terrorist and let law decide on the punishments. We are here. We're watching. Article 370 was scrapped. Fair enough. That was done by your Supreme Court of Law. We pledge that we'll fight for it and we'll continue to do that. We'll fight for our rights. We'll fight for our land. We'll continue to do that. Now, coming to the question that was what was achieved from Afzal Guru and what was achieved from Yassin Malik, let courts decide that. We're here. We are not the Supreme Court here. You're asking us. Whatever the Supreme Court decides, whatever verdict the Supreme Court gives, that's fair enough. Let them decide what it is. You haven't seen us coming out on roads and protesting, release Yassin Malik or what have you done? You're not doing that. We are an
Mr. Talashi, you know,
we are a political
I'm
party.
sure you understand that all protests are not done on the streets. Here's what Omar Abdullah said in 2016. I'm quoting what he posted. After many years, I hear slogans for Azadi resonate from the mosque in my uptown Srinagar locality. Kashmir's disaffected got a new icon yesterday.
Well, then fair enough. You know, he is facing the trial. I said it, I'll repeat it
I'm
once
talking
again.
about Burhan
He's
Wani.
facing the trial. What he said in 2024? He said in 2016. Let's talk about 2024.
Why?
He's facing the trial. Let him face the trial. Let's see the court's verdict and then let's move on. And I'll tell you.
This is about Burhan Wani, sir. Mr. Talashi, this is about Burhan Wani. Okay. Let's open this up quickly. Mr. Kamruzaman Chaudhry, Amit Shah was in Jammu today. He released the BJP manifesto. And he said that come what may, we will not allow anyone to restore Article 370. Something that your ally NC proposes to do.
Yeah, Pranesh, before I come to your question, just a small thing. Anybody who is fighting these elections in Jammu and Kashmir, be it from the ANC, Congress or PDP or the BJP, before filing the nomination, he swears allegiance to the Constitution of India and takes an affirmative oath in presence of the magistrate or whoever the election officer is. So anybody fighting the election, please do not try to brand them as separatist agenda or with a separatist mindset. The first clarification. Secondly, coming back to your question of Article 370 and Mr. Amit Shah's press conference today in Jammu, I have listened every part of it. You see, when Article 370 was abrogated by the Bharatiya Janata Party, most of the clauses which had sweeping powers within Article 370 were already diluted and they were never a part of the 370 in operation in Jammu and Kashmir. That's a given and that's a taken. You can take it for granted or you can inquire with any source you want. Now coming to the point what the Kashmiris have achieved after Article 370 was abrogated. First point that hurts anybody in India, or rather every one of us have been dog whistled because of the plight of the Kashmiri pundits. After 10 years, Amit Shah being power for the last 10 years, he has to issue a promissory note today in their manifesto that we are going to rehabilitate all the Kashmiri pundits in the Kashmir Valley. People are waiting for affirmative action, not promissory empty promises. Why is this the deceit of the Kashmiri pundits? Mr. Shehzad Punawala, my first question. After Article 370 was abrogated, Amit Shah ji on the parliament said that terrorism will come to an end. But the last few years, like the 223 Dongri village massacre where 7 innocent civilians lost their lives, or just a few days ago a pilgrimage bus in the Riyasi was attacked, or the army 5 Jawans were shaheed just a few days ago in Kashmir. Why are these terrorist activities not coming down?
Now,
because
on the first question, Mr. Kamruzaman Chaudhry, if you read the manifesto of your alliance partner, the NC, you would not be asking that first question about rehabilitation and justice to the BJP. But since you've asked, a quick response, then I'm bringing in the others.
First of all, Mr. Kamruzaman Chaudhary, ever since Article 370 has been abrogated, terrorism is down by 45%, infiltration is down by 90%, security forces casualty is down by 65%, stone pelting is down by 98%, buns are totally done away with. And today, from terror hotspot, it has become a tourism hotspot with 2 crore tourists going there. In fact, not just the Kupwara Mandir is seeing the celebration of Navratra, but also the Tazia is going on in Srinagar. There is a cinema hall that is now started in after 30 years in Srinagar, and we have seen the kind of investment that is coming in. But having said that, I want to ask you a different question. You said about rehabilitation of Kashmiri Pandits. Before rehabilitation comes repentance. Do you accept that the Kashmiri Pandits were subjected to a genocide which was done by Islamic Jihad, where Raif Salif Gali was set from masjids between 1980 to 19, which was headed by the family first governments of Indira Gandhi and of Farooq Abdullah, and Ghulam Ji was also the chief minister at that point of time between 80 to 90. Do you consider it to be Islamic Jihad? Secondly, pointed question I'm asking you is that Omar Abdullah has said Afzal Guru's hanging achieved nothing. Does Congress party stand by? Thirdly, do you want one Samvidhan or two Samvidhan when Article 370 is going to be re-implemented as per
let him answer.
Do you accept it or support it, or you deny it?
First question, first, Pranesh, let me ask my brother out here, Shehzad. You and me can now go and buy a piece of land in Jammu and Kashmir because Article 370 has been withdrawn. But I give you 1 crore rupees, please buy a piece of land in the name of Shehzad Poonawala and family in Assam right now. Can you? It's an open challenge. I'm going to lose in front of the nation 1 CR. I'm giving you, purchase a land next to any of the mandir in Assam. See, you remove Article 370 because that suits your narrative. In Assam, you reimpose surreptitiously Article 370 because that also suits your narrative. If a liar, a party like yours, a hypocrite like yours, are mismanaging the country,
let's have that answer on Assam
of Northeast as well as
but
Kashmir,
you will not answer.
such a way
you will not answer on
it
Kashmir.
It will be.
But Kamruzaman ji, you will not answer on Kashmir. Will you answer? Will the BJP answer the question on Assam?
No, I'm exposing the hypocrisy of
No, one second. I'll answer the
I'm
question. You're not exposing nothing. You're exposing
one
nothing.
person at a time. A question has been asked. Shehzad, respond.
The only hypocrisy that is exposed is that you talk about one Samvidhan, but you want 2 Vidhans when you want 370 implemented again in Jammu Kashmir. You talk about Arakshan, but you won't say about the removal of the rights of Dalits and SC/ST Samaj in Jammu Kashmir after the removal of 370, which NC is proposing. But having said that, you asked me about the purchase of land. If Priyanka Vadra can purchase land in Himachal, if Rahul Gandhi can contest election in Kerala, then Shehzad Poonawala can buy there, but I have to follow the rules there. Even in Jammu Kashmir, you have to follow the rules. Nobody is preventing you from not following the rules. The point that we are trying to make is that Rahul Gandhi said that they are outsiders. Now, what does he mean when they are outsiders? Is he saying that any Hindu, because National Conference has said demographic change will take place if any Indian comes there. That means you are saying that if Hindus come there, then there will be a demographic change. And lastly, Mr. Talahi or whatever, Talashi. Mr. Talashi, thoda Talashi karke aate aap. National Conference and Gupkar has said that it is a setback for peace when Mr. Yasin Malik was convicted by the courts. This has been said by Gupkar officially, of which you were a part.
Mr. Tausif Shah, do you believe that Muslims are targeted across India? What Omar Abdullah is saying?
I'd like to have my 5 minutes on the show. There were so many questions arising on. First of all, I'd like to speak on the statements of Mr. Amit Shah, which he has given in the morning today that 370 has gone forever. So, Mr. Roy, don't you think, and the other panelists who are sitting over there, don't you think this is like that kind of a dictatorship that we won't allow 370 to come back? So it means that in a democratic setup, he's clearly giving a damki-like thing that he won't allow 370 to come back. What exactly does he mean by that?
Can I answer that question, sir?
Just a second, sir. Just let me complete, please. Just let me complete. I didn't interrupt anyone. So please let me complete. It's a request. So then second thing is there, that if we democratically want it back, this was something that was given by the government of India to us. This was not given by some other country. It was given by the government of India. So we would like to take it back from government of India, not from any other government. Then the second question is there, that whatsoever government comes in the power,
whenever the counting ends in Jammu and Kashmir, stone peltings and other things would start. How exactly does he know? Is this a prophecy he's making, or is there any sort of a plan? What exactly does he want? What I feel is that they are somehow planning to create once again a situation where they would like to forcefully induce governor's rule over there. Because how can a home minister?
Let me bring in Karan Verma. Before that, let me quickly tell you 1 minute. You were talking about dictatorship. The decision to abrogate Article 370 was taken by the Parliament. It has been upheld by the Supreme Court, yet you are calling it dictatorship. And while you are calling it dhamki, will you take a stand on what Mehbooba Mufti had said about not holding the Tiranga if it is not restored? Is that dhamki? What Mr. Farooq Abdullah has said about Tufan, is that dhamki? I don't know. Karan Verma.
No, Pranesh, just look at this perfect pot calling the kettle black thing. Here is a gentleman who says that in the interest of democracy, how can you take away Article 370 from us? The Article 370, which trampled upon the rights of millions of Dalits, Gurkhas, tribals, Sikhs, homosexuals, that act, that undemocratic and fascist act, he wants to bring back in the name of democracy. मतलब अगर आपको ये डेमोक्रेसी चाहिए where you want to have atrocities on SC, ST and that goes unpunished, if that is your definition of democracy, then kiss that definition goodbye, Mr. Tausif. Remember this. If you want to believe that there will be no Prevention of Corruption Act, because there was no Prevention of Corruption Act applicable in the valley before Article 370 was there, then you can kiss that dream goodbye once again. Countless women did not get any rights. There was no prevention from domestic violence, Pranesh. So many rights, consumer protection, right to education, right to information. And this man has the gall to come on national television and say, oh, in the name of democracy, bring back Article 370. आपने democracy का गला घोट दिया with Article 370. This is the article you used for brazen corruption. Decades after decades, your selected families looted Kashmir. They made sure that Kashmir was engulfed in nepotism, terrorism, corruption, and then you have the gall to say we want to bring back Article 370. Go and tell Farooq Abdullah. Go and tell Mehbooba Mufti. Both of them said, zalzala aa jayega. Inshallah, क़यामत के दिन तक हम लड़ेंगे अगर 370 हट गया. 370 हट गया और वापस भी नहीं आना. It has been removed. Lock, stock and barrel.
Right.
Live with it. Digest it.
Mr. Kashani, Syed Fazal Kashani has been listening to all of us intently. Mr. Kashani, महबूबा मुफ्ती ने जो कहा था तिरंगा के बारे में, आज फारूक अब्दुल्ला कह रहे हैं कि तूफान आ जाएगा, इसका क्या मतलब है?
देखिए, दो तीन चीजें मैं यहाँ पे बहुत क्लियर कर देना चाहता हूँ. That over the period of 10 years, Kashmiris have become politically mature enough that they have understood the political deceit done by the NC in past. They have seen how the votes were asked during 2014 elections by PDP to avoid BJP coming in power, but they ended up having an alliance with it. And they are also aware of the report card of BJP that they have to fight on. I mean, BJP very conveniently criticizes other political parties for appeasement politics or freebies. But if you read the manifesto today, it is full of appeasement, it is full of freebies. So people will give you a mandate this time, which all these parties will remember. Otherwise, a sitting former chief minister, उनको आज जरूरत पड़ी अपनी टोपी नीचे उतार के भीख मांगने की वोटों से. उनको आज जरूरत पड़ी दो जगहों से इलेक्शन लड़ने की. Somebody who was till yesterday who was saying I will not fight elections in this UT, now he is
fighting from two seats.
Secondly,
but Mr. Kashani, while what you're saying is valid, I am sure if I go to Mr. Talashi of the NC, he will say that, look, Muslims are under attack in this country. We must all come together.
Let me clear a few things here, that people know that Article 370 is an history. अब PDP और NC promising कि हम वापस लेकर आएंगे, ये लोगों को बहुत clearly पता चला कुछ होने वाला नहीं है. DDC elections भी इसी नाम पे लड़े.
Not just the PDP, NC, even the Congress. Kamru Zaman Chaudhary, who is so articulate, has not answered that question. Do they endorse the decision of the NC to include in their manifesto that we will restore Article 370? It's a simple yes or no question, but Mr. Chaudhary will go to Assam, Himachal, other parts of the country, not answer that question.
Clearly, there is no alliance on ground between NC and
basically, Article 370 has been a thing of the past. During the Congress regime itself, Article 370 was diluted like anything. That
But
none
then,
of those draconian clauses were in
but Kamru
implementation.
Samanji, if it was
at that point in
diluted,
time when
then how are you
370 was withdrawn.
questioning the process?
this is
Leaders,
the
senior leaders of your
to
party,
the
sir, have
gallery.
questioned the manner in which it was done.
no.
And if you really believe what you're saying, why don't you tell
Yes,
Mr.
of
Talashi to tear that page number, 3 or 4 in which that promise is mentioned from the manifesto? Why are both of you trying to mislead the voters there?
No, basically, Pranesh, you must understand, just coolly 10 seconds I will take. Basically, what the BJP's mindset is playing to the gallery with this rhetorical Article 370, Zindagi
What
mein nahi
gallery?
aayega, aakhir tak
Which
nahi
is this
aayega,
gallery,
ye
sir?
nahi
Who are
hoga,
the
wo nahi
people in
hoga.
the gallery?
This is just playing to the gallery.
No, I
Because
want you to
Article
elaborate. Who are the
370
people in the
as
gallery?
on the date when
What
it
are we
was
talking about? Did you not
abrogated?
hear what Karan Verma was saying? That what it does, Article 370, now that it has been abrogated, and 35A, that it empowers people. It has ended discrimination. That is playing to the gallery. Karan Verma?
Tonight. Pranesh, let's have a prediction tonight. 90 assembly seats in Jammu and Kashmir. Let us say if Article 370 removal had done wonders for Kashmir, that means BJP would be winning another at least 70-80 seats. How many
Sir,
seats do you give to the
I'll
BJP
tell you.
in Jammu
Problem
and
with
Kashmir?
this prophecy is, and this, logic of linking this to mandate,
value.
is that by that logic,
Just
everything that was in the
Maharashtra
Congress
election,
manifesto,
in Haryana
you've been
election,
reduced to
or in
99.
Uttar Pradesh election
What does that
only.
mean? So let's not link the two because it is not the right thing to do. Quick answer, Karan.
So, first of all, Pranesh, it's Digvijay Singh of Congress on 12th June 2021 who has said we will bring back Article 370. He repeated this on 22nd January 2023. Now, when Kamru Zaman says Article 370 hasn't changed much, let me tell him the GDP of Kashmir from 1 lakh crore, it has gone up to 2.25 lakh crores in the last 5 years. Investments in the last 3 years because of the removal of Article 370, which has made land access easy, it has gone up to 80,000 crores in the last 3 years, which is a whopping 5 times more
Now,
of what it was before 2019. 2 lakh people have got permanent citizenships.
True. This is data that you're quoting. Obviously, anyone can go and check. I want to, before we move on to the other topic, let's have a small test. And Mr. Talashi, Tausif Shah, Shehzad, Karan Verma, Kamru Zaman Chaudhary. Here's a simple question. All political parties, and Mr. Kashani, you answer the question first. All political parties in the manifesto have promised peace and prosperity. The first step is to call out terror. So let's take names. You've heard what Omar Abdullah said in a podcast, what Mehbooba Mufti has said about Burhan Wani. Let's take a clear stand on these individuals. Were they terrorists? Yasin Malik, Burhan Wani?
So it's very clear, Pranesh, that Burhan Wani took the wrong way and he met the fate. Yasin Malik, he is facing court and court will decide on him. So nobody here to discuss about, discuss about these individuals. But
They are not ordinary individuals. Yasin Malik has been convicted. You know what happened to Afzal Guru. He was sentenced to death by the Supreme Court, the highest court of the land, if you believe in it. And then the third individual is Burhan Wani. So no point shedding tears for Burhan Wani. Let's bring in the others. Tausif Shah, Burhan Wani, Yasin Malik.
Yes, I'd just like to ask a question to Shehzad Punewala. Even after Mr. Nathuram Godse was convicted that he has killed Gandhi, still RSS has his photos garlanded and they are praising them. BJP is praising them. So what about him?
Answer this question.
Why would you put a question to Mr. Shehzad Punewala?
That's a big charge. Answer that question.
You asked the question, now you have to have the patience to listen to the answer. Tausif Shah, Nobody in the BJP has garlanded Nathuram Godse's picture, but the only person who erected a mandir for him and was taken into the Congress party was a guy called Babulal Chaurasia in Madhya Pradesh Congress. He continues to be a proud card-carrying member of the Congress party, point number one. So therefore, you want to check your facts right. But having said that, now, please tell me that Afzal Guru, convicted terrorist, sent to the gallows by the Supreme Court. Do you call him a terrorist? Yasin Malik, convicted. Do you call him a terrorist? Please listen to the full thing. Burhan Wani, a terrorist. And finally, sir, you said that it is dictatorship because we do not want 370 back. Are Nehru ji ne bola giste gis jayega. Ambedkar ji was against it. So were they also dictators? And 370, after the removal of it, the right to life, right to government jobs, right to reservation, and right to dignity was given to the Dalit community.
Quickly.
This is dictatorship.
Mr. Talashi, you are next. Mr. Shah, answer that question. Will you call them terrorists? Mr. Shah?
Yes.
Will you call the individuals terrorists?
Me or your?
No, I'm asking you.
You asking Mr. Talashi?
No, I'm asking you.
Okay. So, Mr. Shahzad Punewala didn't answer me. He just put me a reverse question.
No, he said nobody in the RSS or the BJP has done it.
He's just trying to manipulate. He's just trying to manipulate.
Okay. Oh, you believe it is manipulation. Mr. Talashi, will you call out these people as terrorists?
Let me answer your question, Pranesh. Just hear me out, okay? We're here, we were talking about the BJP released the manifesto. We're in the middle of the elections, and it's quite surprising and it's quite convincing that the kind of frustration that I've been watching on the faces of the BJP as far as Jammu and Kashmir elections are concerned, rather than talking about the manifesto, your clock is still
so I understand you're not willing to take a position. Mr. Talashi,
I have done many debates with you, and this is the only question you ask. Come out of it.
But
now.
Sir, every time this question is asked, the question is never answered, which is why the question still remains valid. So why don't you answer the question once and for all?
About the elections. You're talking about BJP manifesto, and you know that
I'm not. I'm talking about integrity of our country. This is not a show just on BJP manifesto. This is also about the NC manifesto and the dangerous and the sinister designs of the manifesto. For few votes, you can't be playing with fire. Simple question, Mr. Talashi, but you won't take a position. Tausif Shah also did not take a position. Mr. Kasani, Karan, yes or no? 3 individuals, terrorists, yes or no?
Absolutely.
Okay. Kamru Zamanji, you have the last word, sir. We'll have to move on. Yes or no?
I consider the first terrorist of independent India as Nathuram Godse, and anybody who has been convicted.
Okay, I take it. First terrorist Nathuram Godse. Then the second, third. Will you take the names of these people? Burhan Wani, Yasin Malik, Afzal Guru.
Yes, of course. Of course, I told. Anybody who has been convicted by a court of law in India,
सर नाम नहीं निकल रहा, वही problem है. That's the problem. नाम नहीं आ रहा है. How easy it was to call Godse a terrorist, but इसमें नाम नहीं आ रहा because you see difficult names. I understand the difficulty. Gentlemen, thank you to some of you for joining us on debate number 1.